at the Anambra, whatever. I mean, at a particular agency of government in Anambra State. And she said it's so bad now that anytime she sees a lady coming towards her house, that
She'll start having heart
our blood
palpitations.
pressure begins to go
Of
up.
course.
No, I mean,
Of course.
is it another story of
The
me and
mother
your
had
son?
probably had enough.
Then,
and,
I
you
mean,
know.
at 18, that must be more than enough. And, it's still counting, like the mother said.
So this is out to you, young men. I know that there's a popular misconception that want to enjoy my life while I'm young before I get married. I want to, but have a thought to yourself. The person that apart from the fact that this is even against every moral code, it's against God's laws, whatever, regardless of whatever religion you believe in, whether you're Christian, Muslim, even if you're a traditionalist, it is against the laws and codes that bind your religion. Also, imagine if would you probably be happy to know that one of those girls were your sisters or your
The truth of the matter is that this guy has actually wrecked his future. I'm not sure why he wants to take care of these 10 children, but he will have to walk beyond his limits to provide the most
that's
basic.
if he actually plans to. That's another thing.
I
That's
understand
another
your
thing.
point, but the truth of the matter is
If
that
anything, I feel like law enforcement
you need to step
should
in.
hold him, make him work, get
Yes,
him job, manual
yes.
labor
And
to provide for
and
his
the money is not
children.
going to go to him.
It's not going to go
to
to
the
him,
ladies.
yes.
Yes, put in the family.
But anyway, let's go back to insecurity in Nigeria. Now, the Senate on Tuesday resolved to hold a 2-day national security summit to brainstorm a solution to the rising wave of killings and other forms of insecurity in the country. Apparently, someone sponsored a motion, the senator representing Ondo South, at the resumption of plenary, and on Wednesday. Now we had the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru, who questioned the relevance of this proposed national security summit. He said instead it's time for renewed strategy. Instead of security summits. He also went further to say so many other things by saying, it's not these people, it's not that they have outgunned us, it's not that they're using sophisticated weapons. He said that it's the fact that they are, is it the element of surprise or something that they use, and that it's not about that, it's elements of surprise and brute force, that it's not that they outgun them or use better weapons. And he said that the summit can help, but strategy is much more important.
The very first question to ask him is that, had it been that he was doing his job the way he should have been doing it, would there have been any reason for a security summit? That's the first thing. Secondly, in all seriousness, we are being governed by people that, we need to really, 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 really ascertain the state of their mental health. We were talking about the guy who is in charge of education right now, and he said the reason why there is mass failure is that because they came up with anti-cheating mechanisms.
Yeah, I said it's working now, so people are no longer cheating.
Can you imagine?
And that's why
very
1.5 out of 1.7
failed. Can you imagine? People are failing, and instead of accepting that they are failing, they are coming up with silly, annoying, and the third word is there, but I'm not sure the platform is right for it. These are funny people, funny and funny. Nigeria has sunk in between 2023 and now around 10 trillion around security, and everywhere you are right now, your primary concern is your safety. The dailies are talking about Benue and Borno, but it's not just Benue and Borno. This week, Lakurawa killed around 15 people in Niger State. It's the same thing in Zamfara, Sokoto, even Plateau. It's everywhere you go. And it shouldn't be. The very first question we should ask is, where exactly is this money going to? Because over the years, it has always been money and money and more money and more money. And on the other side, it's a worsening worsening insecurity situation, and that is depressing because clearly the money is not going where it ought to be.
So the last time we spoke about insecurity, Mr. Sani, you mentioned something. Maybe not the last time, but one of the times you said, it's easy for many of these people to sit down in their offices and say, oh, it's because of this that this is happening. But when it comes to insecurity in recent times, it's hitting closer home for these people, because we had in Borno State where an army captain was killed.
That one is even, with all due respect to him, it's never a good idea to lose anybody irrespective of their ranks. But we have lost colonels. We have lost colonels to these bad boys. And, if you are a colonel in the Nigerian army, well, you are a big boy in your own rank, but until you become a general, you are still not, you are not seen at the top. Most of these generals sit idly in their offices and they begin to say, oh, go this, go this place, go that place. When the United States of America wanted to leave Afghanistan, this is on record, the last soldier to leave Afghanistan was actually a major general. That was the last American boot on the ground, a major general. But here, the reverse is the case. These guys stay in Abuja, they send captains, and once in a while, maybe colonels and lieutenant colonels out there on the field. But, they are hardly ever there. And anytime you see the chief of army staff, it's almost about distraction, because instead of having boys to do the job, he goes around with a retinue of more than enough aides, people who should have been on the field doing the primary role of security. They are following these people around. That is not what we should be talking about. We need to find a way to bring the NSA, the Minister of Defense, the Minister of State for Defense, and how security chief of this, chief of that. Where exactly is this 10 trillion?
So does this mean that the Minister of Defense is right? What they need is to revisit their strategy?
I will not take him seriously. He has been there for almost 2 years. You have had 2 years, over 700 days to revisit, to redo your strategies. You have not done that. Now people are complaining that you are incompetent. And we said, oh, it's about the strategy. Oh, shut it up. The point at this particular point is that our leaders are not interested in our well-being. That's just the truth of the matter. Our leaders are not interested in our well-being. The only thing that matters to them is 2027. Look at the alignments, the realignments, the suspensions, the counter-suspensions, the defections. It's annoying. It is annoying. Your primary duty should be governance. And maybe when it's a year to the year of election, you now begin to say, okay, let's talk about politics. Fellow citizens, look at what I've done in the last 3 years. Do I deserve a re-election or not? And it's the people that will say, you don't even need to bother yourself. You have done exceedingly well. We are going to vote you again. And if you have done poorly, Chief, anything you do, we need to vote you again. These are the things we should be talking about. And I can tell you clearly that until Nigerians begin to take themselves seriously, nobody's going to take them seriously. Our politicians who should be actually be looking up to us for re-election have made the next election their core primary, their core duty. But as Nigerians, you say, 2027 is still too early to talk about that. It's never too early to talk about the next election. The only thing that can make you not to talk about the next election is if governance is going on smoothly. But if that's not the case, you need to talk about the next election as soon as you detect that these people are not really concerned about you.
Still talking about the fact that the elite in the country seem to be far removed from the realities of the regular people. This headline says, IG sets up special police unit for elite protection. Apparently, the Inspector General of Police, Oduekun-Ayoola, set up a special unit of the police for the protection of the elite, and the unit is called the Special Protection Unit.
It has been there for a long time.
It's been there because we always see there have been several videos on social media seeing a policeman or a policewoman carrying a handbag for...
One was actually lacing the shoes of the national chairman of the APC during the week, and that is evil. Who does that? The truth of the matter is that these people are telling us clearly that they don't give a hoot about us. The SPU is the most effective police department in this country. People love to go there because they know that wherever they are posted to, Shwa is going to come out of there. That is number one. Number two, walk into any police station. Look at the average police officer there. He is dirty. His shoes have, The shoes have been barbed. You want to shoe the get easy, like we say in local parlance. But look at these guys who are protecting these people. I mean, I don't know if you have noticed, but they are usually in blue beret. That is how you know SPU officer. Blue beret or blue hat, face cap, and you see SPU on the side of the hat. They are usually clean. The boys they are even fresh. I begin to wonder what is happening. But the people who are protecting us, the most rickety jalopy cars,
the policemen we see on the roads,
they are not well taken care of. It's obvious. Looking at them, you know that there is crisis. Now, but
these people in
SPU has been active. As far as I'm concerned, it's the most well funded. Yet they are talking about how to further empower it so that they can protect the elites at the expense of the people.
Now, these people also undergo special training. Their training involves VIP protection, escort and convoy movement, combat parades and formation, firearms handling, shooting range, martial arts, self-defense, first aid, basic firefighting skills, and so many other things.
The chairman of a local government in Enugu was complaining last week. He said in his local government he has 500,000 people, and there's only one police division there. Guess the number of officers in that division? Just 7. 7 officers to protect 500,000 people. And sometimes you see people on the road, people who are not even state actors, going around with 20 mobile police officers.
So that's one police officer to 71,428.6 people.
How do you want to protect that community? Even if you're a magician, you can never get it done. And in all seriousness, please permit me to speak in Yoruba here. 1 year of labor, they are cheating us right before our eyes, and we are quiet. Today in America, in fact, in the whole world, Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. You can never see a county police officer behind him in the United States of America. Sir Ratcliffe in the UK, you can never see a council police officer behind him. But here, people who only have 250 million, 500 million, at most 1 billion, you see them with a retinue of security officers, people who should be protecting us, and we are keeping quiet. In all seriousness, I can't blame these people. The average human being would naturally want to cheat the other. If the other is now quiet, then so be it.
So, basically, with all that was said by the Minister for Defense, he doesn't see that there is anything wrong. He instead was reeling out the successes.
That's nonsense. They are even contradicting themselves. One was saying 8,000 bad boys have been killed. The other one was saying 13,000 bad boys have been killed. They do not have any fact. The truth of the matter right now is that all these bad boys are still there. Alidogo, Tilde, the baddest of them right now is Zamfara, Sokoto, Bello Turji. These guys are just.
He said Bello Turji is on the run because of the offensive that the military has
that is absolute nonsense. This guy was still on camera a couple of weeks ago threatening fire and brimstone. There is a bad boy right now too. He operates around Niger and Kwara. They call him the dreaded bandit. He goes around with a dreadlock. And do you know what he calls himself? He calls himself Shekau of Zamfara. And the most annoying part of it is that this guy goes live on TikTok. He goes live on Facebook, doing live broadcast. And our security operatives cannot track him. The truth of the matter is that once you go live on any mobile device, it's very easy to spot you. But it's not possible. It's impossible for our people. Go live on Facebook, say something against Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and I can assure you that you're not going to sleep in your house that day. That's on one side. During the week, some bad boys were moving, up to 300 of them were moving at once. 300 people on motorcycle and their legs, moving with all sorts of guns and, RPGs and all sorts. They were moving from one local government towards Mina. Guess what? Nothing happened. Not a security agent confronted them. And we have scores of Tucano fighter jets. Just one bomb and these people will be off the surface of the earth. Nothing happened. That is what is now making all of us, a number of us to question these people. Is there a connivance? That's number one. Number two, are you intentionally allowing these people to run wild, wreak havoc, so that you can collect more money from the government? Because in all seriousness, just one bomb would have taken care of these people. 300 at once. It was like they presented an early Christmas gift to the government, which the government failed to accept.
All right, you can be a part of the conversation this morning by calling us. The phone lines are officially open: 0916-893-1000, 0916-893-2000, and 0915-333-4893. These are the numbers to call to be a part of the conversation this morning. Also, drop your comments on our Facebook fan page, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. And hooray, you can watch us on YouTube. Just search Wells Radio 89.3 FM and you'll be able to watch us live on YouTube. Okay, so just go on there and don't forget to click the subscribe button and like our post and drop your comments. Additionally, send your WhatsApp message to 0915 499 893. Okay, we have a call. Let's take this. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, West Radio.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is George. I'm calling you from Oduekun-Ayoola.
You're welcome, Mr. George. Please go ahead.
I start my comment this morning by first thanking Mr. Sonny for his presentations concerning the whole issue that we have just discussed now. That is just the truth. All what he said is correct. Then I end it by saying that there's a level between those who are rolling out now and whatever is happening today in Nigeria. But I wonder, what do they want to gain from it? If the whole people around you are dead, can you live alone? That is just my comment. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning to you, man.
Good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yeah, it's coming from Malakia.
Ruth from Malakia.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, please go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Nigeria is really under threat due to the rate at which this insecurity has really degenerated in the country. And it's a pity our government keeps giving different tragedies on the pages of newspaper. But next thing we hear is another attack. I will just implore the federal government. They should stop putting their tragedies on the pages of newspaper again. Because immediately we hear another tragedies, another attack. Until we stop hearing bandits, Boko Haram, before we know they are taking actions, they should stop telling us their next step. What we want is action from them. Good morning.
Thank you so much. The government needs to stop telling us their next step. Rather, they should spring into action. Let's move on quickly. Now, the Senate yesterday passed 2 bills. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Miss. Good morning. You're welcome, Mr. Sheriff.
You should let our governor know, our government, that in an atmosphere of insecurity, nothing can be achieved. And this insecurity that's burdening our country is long overdue, because even Nigeria border is very porous and also an open gate for an individual with dangerous intention. All those funds that they challenge to security sector, without proper monitoring, that fund allocated to the armed forces may be misused. So it's time for Mr. President to prioritize the procurement of modern combat equipment and improve intelligence and support to our frontline troops. And if you can't do that, the state policing that we are clamoring for, it is time to do the needful on it. If they can't give us the state police, the local security outfits that each state have, especially in the southwest here that we have our Depo Corps, they should allow them to use sophisticated weapons just to complement the efforts of our security.
Let me ask you something, Mr. Sheriff. The Minister of Defense yesterday said that it's not that these terrorists have more sophisticated weapons.
Okay.
He said they don't have more sophisticated weapons. So what do you think is the problem?
How the Minister of Defense know that they don't have sophisticated weapons? How? That's my own question. See, we need to be sincere with ourselves. In the ends of the affairs, we need a leader with that's very accountable and transparency. Even the Minister of Defense that you mentioned now, he has some allegations from EFCC. I don't have anything to even let's go and check the background of our Minister of Defense. Maybe is a former military man or someone that he have the experience in and is an expert. See, it is time to appoint someone a round peg the hand hole. Someone that's very complete fit to that position. See, we can't get it right if we are appointing some critical sector because of political patronage. That's my own submission.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sheriff. Hello, good morning. All right, call us back. Okay, now let's take that call. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, do call us back. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling from?
Adirunke from.
Adirunke, good morning to you. You're welcome. Let's have your perspective.
Yeah, killings has now been the order of the day. Just take a look at another fresh attack. When are we going to overcome this insecurity of it? Yes, the federal government does not even bother how to curb this insecurity because it is day in, day out now. So the only solution to this is state police. If state police is being approved, at least we will have rest of mind on insecurity that is ravaging the country. So the federal government, at this time, the federal government should do the needful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now, there's so much clamor for state police. All right, please call us back. There's so much clamor for state police, Mr. Sani. I want to ask this question before we move away from the insecurity matter. Now, everyone is clamoring for state police. But we're seeing, we're seeing the power play, between governors and their deputies, governors and local government chairmen, and the likes. Don't you think that if, or by the time we eventually have state policing, it's not just, going to be a case of the state police is there to do my bidding?
I can tell anybody who cares to listen that it's going to be exactly as you have said. But there are 36 state governors in the country. I do not want to believe that our case has become so terrible that 36 of them are going to go to the left side at the same time. Even if it's one or two of them who are doing the right thing, I mean, it's still something we can. Right now, the National Police is misbehaving, in my opinion, arresting people for things, not just the National Police, the SSS, the EFCC. The only thing I can see the EFCC is doing right now is going after people who are spraying money at parties. And, it's a very shameful thing because nothing in the EFCC Act says that you should not spend money at parties.
Can we take this call?
Oh, please.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning. Well spoken.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Salami. I'm calling from Watson, Ibadan.
You're welcome, Mr. Salami. Let's have
All
your
right,
perspective.
thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Sonny.
Morning, sir.
God bless you.
Amen.
God bless you for your in-depth analysis. I appreciate you. You see, for me, I want to start with my condolences to the family of the slain captain. Even though he may not have been a general, but for a family to produce a captain, it goes a long way. I was raised by a soldier, and I know what it means. That's that. May the good Lord be with his family.
Amen.
Okay. Then for the public hearing public summit or what have you on security, according to the defense minister, it's unnecessary. What is it for? It's not a civilian thing. It's a military affair. So, even as for the defense minister too, now saying that they want to rejig, they want to regret, they want to do all this, why must he wait till now? You see, for me, in all of this, all I can say is that they all know what they are doing. It's only in Nigeria that you'll be announcing your strategy to catch a thief 24 hours before you map out your plan, or before you carry out your strategy. It's only in Nigeria. Okay, by 10 a.m. tomorrow, we will wait for them around 3 a.m. to catch all of them. I mean, who are they deceived? Military action is swift. You swing into action. You don't even need any public announcement, any public hearing, any public listening. What I just want to say now is that until Nigeria has a leader that is ready to brace all odds, that's ready to confront the Fulani oligarchy in Nigeria, Nigeria will not have peace. I'm sorry to be saying this, but it's what I have seen. These Fulani oligarchy, they believe Nigeria is their territory and they want to conquer Nigeria. Honestly speaking, and that's why I'm saying that until we have a government, a leader who is ready to tackle them headlong, we may never get out of this. May God save us in this country. Good
Amen.
morning,
Thank you so
welcome.
much. Thank you, Mr.
Oh,
Salami.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Please, what's your name and where you're calling from? Where are you calling us from?
My name is Oduekun-Ayoola. I'm calling from Bodija.
You're welcome, Oluwadamilala.
Thank
Let's
you.
have your perspective, please.
Still on the case of insecurity, I would urge the federal government to please approve state policing. The truth is, you can't bring someone from the north down here to Ibadan and you expect the person to work effectively. Does the person know the nooks and crannies of Ibadan? No, but an indigene will do well in his state. So I just want them to look at it from that angle.
Can I ask you a question, Oluwadamilala?
Please go ahead.
Okay, so now when you say that bringing someone, just for example, from the north to the southwest, may not really work, don't you think that the rationale behind that is that the person coming from the north, having no ties at all in the south, will be able to objectively, without bias, look at the security issues and solve them?
No, the truth is, in my own opinion, that would not even work. See, if northerners are police enough, they know the hideout of, they would know these criminals, and if an indigene of that state talks to them, it will calm things down somehow. So they should please look into state policing. For now, I think that's the only solution.
All right. Thank you so much, Oluwadamilala.
Before going to the issue of state police we were discussing the other time, I used to know. I don't know if they still stick with that. But if you are recruited by the police today, you are going to be stationed in your home state for at least 1 year. That was the practice. I don't know if it's still the same today. That's that. And your point is very vital. I mean, during the weekend there was a shootout between two security agencies. One controlled by the federal government, one controlled by the state government. I don't want to go into the names. They were shooting at each other. And what happened? One arrested someone who allegedly stole a bike. And before a twinkle of an eye, Okada riders allegedly came with a particular security team controlled by the state government to come and retrieve this person from the hands of the authorities who arrested him first. It conflicts for as long as we remain people who would want to cut corners. Things like this are always going to happen. And please permit me to talk about Bauchi State. In all seriousness, I feel terribly sad for people who got killed in Bauchi State. For the first time in a long time, people were killed in Bauchi State. But years back, the governor said that all Fulanis all over the world come and station in Nigeria, we're going to accept you. So if anything is happening to him in Bauchi State, God help him. I only sympathize.
Well, unfortunately, whatever is happening in Bauchi State is not happening to him.
Yes, I
sympathize
with the people who died, but for the governor of Bauchi, I mean, whatever wants to happen to him should happen to him. State police, governors are going to dip their hands into it. That is certain. Anybody who says otherwise is not being sincere with himself or herself. They are going to dip their hands into it, but it's already happening with the federal police. So, and we are not dead yet. So let's give it a shot.
All right. Thank you let's take this call before we move on to the next topic. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, madam. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
This is Miriam from Odeja.
Miriam, you're welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you.
All right. Let's have your...
Federal government providing a good environment is so important because it will promote growth and development. And they shouldn't forget that nothing will thrive in the country being threatened by different shades of insecurity. So just like everybody has been saying, if supporting state police is the way out, then federal government should consider. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right, now let's move on. Yesterday, the Senate passed 2 bills, rejected one, and said they will keep working on the others, even if it meant that they had to work into the night, because they apparently just resumed plenary. Now, these two bills are part of the 4 proposed tax reform bills, the much talked about tax reform bills by President Bola Tinubu. So the first one is the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill. That was approved. We also had the...
Which I don't support.
Okay, we'll break it down. And also the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill. This and also additionally, they also rejected the proposal to raise the value-added tax from 7.5% to 10%. I think we should probably give them a round of applause for that, because VAT at 10%, I don't know how we're going to survive that. Anyway, let's break this down. Now,
I think the only issue they have not yet resolved is the sharing formula. You know, the federal government is saying that a certain percentage should go to this side, derivation, consumption, and equality as regards how to share VAT.
Yeah,
that is what is given.
Which was the most talked about.
The most
part of
talked
it.
about, the most significant, the weightiest part of it.
But let's leave the 90 and talk about the 10.
Okay.
The Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill, which aims to repeal the FIRS Establishment Act and establish instead the Nigeria Revenue Service to enhance revenue collection efficiency. So it's basically renaming the federal FIRS to NRS, and also to centralize tax collection processes in a way that other agencies like the Nigerian Customs Service and co will not be able to participate in revenue collection activities. Is this good or bad?
It is a very bad idea.
Why?
It is a very bad idea because it's about fleecing Nigeria and Nigerians. Like I explained to you the other time, these revenue generating agencies always keep a percentage of whatever they are able to take in. It's still going to be the same. For the NMDPR, it's 4%. For the it's usually between 4 and 5%. What that means now is that if anything is coming through the Nigerian customs, 4% of that is going to go to the customs service. You know, ultimately it's going to come in through the NRS as they are proposing. And at that particular point in time, NRS will still further deduct another 4%, making 8% instead of 4%. That doesn't make sense to me. Not at all. That's that. And like I have been saying, technologies fail. What happens should their platform go down? And, we are receiving money from just one agency using one platform.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you, madam. Your name and where you're calling from, please. All right.
Countless are instances where Google will go down, Microsoft will go down. Around the same time, Yahoo will have a lot of issues. So imagine we are using Google now and Google goes down. What is our fate for that particular month? Igida? That's not what we should be talking about. Let's retain the current arrangement so that number one, Nigeria is going to make more money, and we are not going to be susceptible to the failure of a particular hosting agency. I'm not in support of that.
Now, on the flip side, the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill is apparently supposed to create a new way to handle tax disputes with tribunals and a tax ombudsman. It's supposed to promote fairness in the tax system, and Nigerians will have the official channels to voice their concerns and hold tax authorities accountable.
Do we need a board for that? Go to FIRS today, there is a tax tribunal in every FIRS office. So what exactly are we talking about?
So is this a case of duplication?
Duplication and just waste of time.
And money.
And money. Go to any FIRS office. Should FIRS say, okay, this is what you are paying, and you feel like that is not what you should be paying, go with your tax administrator, and there is a team to attend to you. So what exactly are we talking about here? Doesn't make sense.
All right, let's move on. On the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, don't create one-party states through backdoor, Jonathan warns. This story made the rounds everywhere yesterday, with former President Goodluck Jonathan warning that any attempt to transform Nigeria into a one-party state through political manipulation should be stopped. We've seen series of defections over the past month.
You cannot even begin to keep track of anymore.
It's like every single day now. Do you think that Nigeria is truly approaching a one-party state
No,
system. And do you think that it's even possible for that to happen?
it is possible. I think we have another call.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. He's so eloquent. He knows how to sway the vote. Of course, he knows how to let us know what is going on in the country through the way he anchors the program. Thank you very much, Madam Bola, for all you do.
Thank you,
This
sir.
is Benja Mario.
You're welcome,
Good
Mr.
morning, sir.
Mario.
Morning, sir.
Yeah. The last title you read about Jonathan trying to say that we cannot turn the country into one party state. I think you cannot blame President Bola Tinubu. No. I will never blame him for turning if he has an intent of turning the party, the country into a one party system. I can never blame him. Instead, I will blame those arrogant politicians. I will blame those bad belly politicians who are only after their own belly and their family for jumping from one political party and moving to other party in the name of them being able to see themselves and their family. That's what I'm going to blame. And that's why I'm going to blame APC and not Bola Tinubu now. I'm going to blame APC for allowing every dick and act to come into their party, welcoming them into their party. I'm going to blame them because PDP that are coming down to APC now, some of them, they are just there, just on what they will need. And by the time they turn the party upside down, you will see them moving out of APC again. They present to another party that only God knows. It's going to be a matter of time. I'm telling you, APC and PDP, they are the same. There's no difference among between the two parties talking about the ideology and whatever. I'm telling you, write it down. By the time APC that are maneuvering into, campaigning into APC now, by the time they are done dealing with APC from APC, they will back out. It's so disheartening to see Edo or Delta State House of Assembly members. I think Edo. They defected the speaker and every other lawmaker defected to APC. In the name of what? They attend their particular post in through which party? Through PDP. And now, because the center could no longer hold or whatever for their own best reasons, they are defective. And I will blame our constitution. I will blame our justice system. I will blame the constitution that allows them to cut carpet in the name of what they will eat. How better will it have been if you have a constitution that will stop this menace, that will say it out categorically, that want to take me into an office to a particular party or no account to defect until after your tenure, then you can defect. Those are the people I'm going to blame. I'm going to blame the APC, I'm going to blame the politicians, and I'm going to blame the judge.
Mr. Mario, can I ask you a question, sir?
You said?
Can I ask you a question, sir?
Okay, sir, go ahead, sir.
What is the difference between APC and Tinubu at this particular point in time, sir?
Between APC and what?
Tinubu. You said you won't blame Tinubu, but you blame the APC. I mean, can you differentiate between the two?
Tinubu is just a being, and APC is just a body that allows for all every position to come.
Who is bringing them into the party, sir?
I think you want me to say it out, but I won't just say that. I won't say that. But I'm talking grammatically. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mario.
Let me tell Mr. Mario something. In the Second Republic, this party at the center then was the National Party of Nigeria, NPN. A senator then, Francis Arthur Nzeribe, was a senator in the Fourth Republic as well, and was also a senator in the Second Republic. He wanted to do geontology, wanted to become from the NPP, the party popular in the Southeast, then led by Nnamdi Azikiwe, to the NPN. The Senate president, who you would have thought would benefit from, the idea of somebody coming into his fray, said, no, I am declaring your seat vacant because you were elected into this chamber under the platform of a particular party. If you are leaving that party, then you are leaving your seat.
Now, Mr. Sani, we have seen in Nigeria governors, this is not just about senators.
Please,
I even want to just ask a question using that as an illustration.
Okay.
We've seen governors jump parties and remain on their seats. Do you think that cross-carpeting is a bad idea for Nigerian politics?
It is, but governors have nothing to lose here. The Constitution says nothing about them. It's all about legislators.
Now I'm talking about cross carpeting in
It is,
general.
it is a bad idea. Look at the Speaker of Edo State. He said something yesterday.
All right, this is our last call for today. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, this is George calling.
You're welcome,
I
Mr.
want
George.
to ask Mr. Sonny,
Please go ahead, sir.
that narration you just gave about cross carpeting
Yes.
of Nzeribe,
Yes, sir.
that law, has it changed?
It has not changed, sir. Rather, it's people who have changed. And I'll explain, sir.
Uh-huh. So you can see where our problem is. Where our problem is. It's Tinubu and his men that are doing this thing. It's not. We have the laws. We are complaining of constitution, and yet there is a constitution that they say they are operating on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Standards are falling. Standards are falling.
Is it just about standards falling? We've also had people go to court and...
I mean, it's about standards generally. Legislative standards are dropping. Judicial standards are dropping as well. If you are a governor, I mean, there is nothing said about you in the Constitution. I mean, it's a big lacuna, but it's there. You can move from one party to the other, and as a governor, not lose anything. And maybe that's because, politicians, I mean, the executive side is usually more reckless than the other side. It's the judiciary and the legislature that should be the conscience of the society. I guess that is why the drafters of the Constitution are particular about legislators. And in the 70s, I mean, Nzeribe wanted to do it. Early 80s, pardon me. And Joseph Wires from Cross River said, it's not happening. You are losing your seat. Fast forward to 20 years after that time, the same Nzeribe was elected on the platform of the APP from Imo State. He went to the PDP. Oh, welcome, my good boy. I mean, what happened? People changed.
Now, you say that cross-carpeting is bad for Nigerian
Mm-hmm.
politics. Why?
I wanted to
Why
say
is
I
it bad?
wanted to say something about the Speaker of Edo State. It was in the PDP, and the day before yesterday, he moved to the APC officially. Guess what? He said, I actually cross-carpeted because I don't want to lose the benefits I'm enjoying as a speaker. I'm quoting him verbatim. I don't want to lose the benefits I'm enjoying as a speaker. And there is no provision for that in the Constitution. What the Constitution says, I mean, there is a technical loophole in the Constitution which says that should there be leadership crisis in your party, you can at that particular point decamp to another party. It's in the Constitution if you are a legislator. But the point is this. The national chairman of APC is defined. His name is Abdullahi Umar Ganduje. The acting chairman of the PDP is clearly defined. Ilya Damagum. There is no leadership crisis in the PDP. So if you are leaving the PDP right now, going by what the Constitution says, you should be resigning your post if you are a legislator. If you are leaving the APC today, you should be resigning from office if you are a legislator. The only party where you can leave today and suffer no consequence under the law is the Labour Party, because there are currently three people who are claiming to be chairman. It's not an organic problem. It's not a natural problem. It's a problem thrown into the spanners of the APC, Labour Party, by the person Mr. Mario is afraid of mentioning his name. And the person's name is Bolanle. That's just the truth of the matter. And, Nigeria is like this simply because the president is not doing what he should be doing. The president should be governing Nigeria. Rather, he is politicking in Nigeria and with Nigeria. That is the foundation of our problem.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Sani. We don't have so much time on the show. However, talking about parties, Labour Party yesterday suspended several of its members. Is this the road to the light at the end of the tunnel for the Labour Party?
Light at the end of the tunnel? I hope so. I can only say I hope so. It doesn't look so. The truth of the matter is that they have succeeded in destroying the Labour Party. And they used people who should not have been vulnerable, but at the end of the day, the scent of money was too strong for them to not to follow. Now there are three people claiming to be the chairman of the PDP, Labour Party. Lamidi Papa, Abure, and Nenadi Yushman. Peter Obi and Alex Otti, people you would naturally believe the engine room of the Labour Party, are on the side of Nenadi Yushman. Abure used to be a good man, but Oladbara.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Oh, well, Now the guy is speaking from both ends of his mouth, and today is with Peter Obi, tomorrow Peter Obi destroyed Labour Party. How do you destroy what you built?
All right, now let's move to education before we wrap it up. On Tuesday or Monday, I believe, the JAMB came out with statistics of the people who passed JAMB and who didn't pass JAMB. A whooping 75% were said to have scored below 200. Well, we can't say they didn't pass JAMB, but they scored below 200. Now, CONWA has called for urgent reforms in education. That's the Congress of University Academics. They said that the recent analysis of the results is a reflection of the worsening state of the education system. What's your take on this issue?
It's a complex web of problems. Poverty is a factor. Lack of seriousness on the part of the students is a factor. Incompetence on the part of the tutors is a factor. The hashtags, look at the schools. Look at what we call public schools in the country. You can't even rear animals in such places. And our students are not focused on what they should be doing. Number one, they struggle to put something in their mouth. Is there? You have not eaten for a whole day and you are talking about reading. It's never going to work. That's the point. Another point is that a lot of them are not serious these days. It's about doing live videos we need to find a way to correct these things. We need to find a way to enforce our regulations. If you are not up to 18, I don't believe that you should be allowed to register on these social networking sites. And the reason for that is that, with all due respect to folks in that age range, their state of mind is not that strong enough to know what to do at the right time. You can make money if you are posting on Twitters and the likes. So we are going to school to make money later in life. They are making money already.
So why not just continue making the money?
That's also a factor. So the federal government needs to find a way to cut the avenue where young people can make money. I support young people, but if you're making money, make sure it's something sustainable, something you are building with your hands, maybe craft or something like that. But if it's about posting all sorts of nonsense, lewd videos that will attract attention and views to make money, I'm not sure we can ever get there. We need to get there.
Thank you so much. So let's take this comment from our Facebook page. It says, this is from Adedamola Okunlola. Insecurity in this country keeps increasing and the federal government seems not to be bothered about the people's safety and security. We have been crying for state policing as the solution to insecurity in the country. Security needs to be decentralized and be allowed to work effectively. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The final shot. I said something about the scent of money as regards Abure. It's not me. It's what the United Usman camp is saying, that Abure is guilty of corruption. That is it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sani.
It is always an honor.
A big thank you to every single person who called.
And accolades to Mr. Salami and Mr. George for the good words. God bless you guys abundantly.
God bless you, and God bless Nigeria. My name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola. Don't go anywhere. I'm sure you want to hear about Arsenal, and the sports crew is right here, ready to take you
Arsenal
all
fans,
the way.
sorry you.